Hey guys, welcome back to The Business of Art. We're going to tackle a very tough subject today and hopefully shed a little bit of light on that, and that is how to price your artwork. So every artist does it completely differently, and you're going to have to find the way that works the best for you. I'm going to give you a couple methods that work, but first we're going to go over the factors to take into account when pricing your artwork. So one is materials used. Two is how long the piece took you. And then 3 is your location, your geographical region. Pricing will be different based off of your region. And 4 is your experience, how experienced you are in the art form that you're doing, as well as in sales. If you've got 1,000 pieces of art sold under your belt, you can definitely charge more than someone who has never sold in their life. So those are the factors to take into account. With that in mind, I'm going to give you 2 different ways to calculate your pricing, which are both fairly easy. Once again, take into account your experience. That is a very key factor. So one way to calculate is per square inch of your piece. So say your piece is an 8 by 10, it'll be 80 square inches. And say you're charging $8 per square inch, that would be an $80 painting. So that may work if you're doing an acrylic painting and it took you a few hours. That's a reasonable price. Depending, of course, once again, on where you live. If you're in San Francisco versus out in the middle of nowhere, you know what I mean? Different prices. Or if you're doing maybe an acrylic pour, which is going to be probably a little bit less expensive, then you may go down as low as, say, 20 cents or 40 cents per square inch, so that your painting may come out for an 8 by 10, roughly around $20 to $30 is a pretty common price for that. You can also look at other artists in the same medium and look at their pricing. But once again, factor in experience and location. If you're selling internationally, you may be able to price a little bit higher. If you're selling at a local art fair and it is not a super profitable area, then you might price a little bit lower. Then the second method is materials cost added to an hourly wage. So let's say you decide to pay yourself $20 an hour. A painting takes you 10 hours, that's $200. And then the materials cost $50. So you would charge $250 for the painting. That is definitely another very workable way, and maybe even a little bit easier if you have less experience. It might be a little easier to charge it that way. Like I said, whatever works for you. And then also, as you gain more experience, you can up your prices. So pretty regularly, every year or two, you should be raising your prices. 2 other points are, 1, try not to price based off of emotion. If you really like a piece and you price it higher than other similar pieces, it's going to confuse people and they're going to be like, why is that higher? And you're going to have to justify or explain your pricing. That being said, it is your artwork. You can really do whatever you want. There are no strict rules. I do occasionally price a piece slightly higher because I really like it. So you're really allowed to do whatever you want. The second thing is to maintain consistent pricing. Don't have a price of $100 for a painting on your website and then it's $300 in the gallery. But then if you take it to an art fair, it's $200. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Keep it consistent. If you need to raise your prices because you're going into gallery setting, then do raise your prices, but raise them all across the boards, not just for that one time. So keep consistent pricing. It's really important. And then the third, and I think one of the most important things, is always have a price, no matter what it is. Don't make the person ask you. So when you're doing an art fair, if you have your art online, any of those, have a price on it. This lets people know it's available, it's for sale, I want you to buy it. If they have to ask you, they're pretty much going to always assume that it's out of their price range, and they won't ask you. Like 90% of the time, you'll lose that sale. If you have a price on it, a sticker, you're 10 times more likely to get that sale, as long as your work is reasonably priced. So, pick one of those two methods and start out with that when you're just starting, and then you're going to have to adjust it as you go along. If, you commonly hear that's too expensive and you're just not making sales, yeah, you may have to lower your prices. If you're completely selling out of all your pieces, then raise your prices. It's pretty simple. Just pick a starting point and go from there. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you next time.